We're going to do our Chapter 2 test review, and at any time if you need to pause and rewind, feel free to do so. There are 20 questions. You should have them in front of you now in your packet. There might be 2 or 3 that are not multiple choice, and you kind of have to write the question in yourself, but you can do that when I get there. Alright, number 1. Divide using long division. So you need to set it up x squared minus 7. Just do not forget to put your missing terms. Do not forget to put your missing terms with a 0 under there. Don't forget that, or things aren't going to line up. Okay, once again, at any time you can pause and rewind this video if people need it. Alright, negative 4x to the 5th divided by x squared is negative 4x cubed. Multiply that back through, you get negative 4x to the 5th plus 28x cubed minus, with your parentheses, negative 4 plus 4 cancels. Well, that doesn't need to come down because it was just a 0. Negative x cubed minus 28x cubed is 29x cubed, negative. Negative 29x cubed divided by x squared is, let's see, negative 29x. Multiply that back through, and you get negative 29x cubed. Holy mackerel. Plus 203, that's not right. Yes, it is. Plus 29 times 7, 140, 63, 203, positive 203x. Dot, dot, dot. That's going to come down along with the x squared. Minus parentheses. Negative 5x squared is going to come straight down. 212 minus 203 is plus 9x. Negative 5x squared divided by x squared is minus 5. Multiply that back through. Negative 5x squared plus 35 minus parentheses. The plus 35 is also going to come down here. Cancel, cancel. The 9x is going to drop straight through. 35 minus 35 cancels. So 9x is your remainder. So plus 9x over x squared minus 7. And we come back to the top, and that option is, let's see, I think it is A, if I'm reading this correctly. Oh, nope, that's a minus. This is a plus, so it would be D. The answer is D. Okay, number 2. Find the slant asymptote. All you have to do is divide. Now this one you can use synthetic division. If it wasn't just x plus or minus a number, you'd have to use long division. But since it's synthetic, negative 5, 1, negative 3, 2. Drop the 1. Multiply, add, multiply, add. The remainder doesn't matter on the slant asymptote. So x minus 8 is your slant asymptote, therefore making it C. Just a reminder, I will be answering questions over this review on Monday, as I will last night's assignment 2.7. So if you have any questions, just maybe put a star next to the problem and I will answer them on Monday. Number 3, the rational zero theorem. All you have to do is list your p's over q's. Here's your p, here's your q. So your factors of p are plus or minus 1, 2, 4, and 8. Your factors of q are plus or minus 1 and 2. All possible combinations of those are plus or minus 1, 2, 4, 8, 1 half, 2 halves is 1, 4 halves is 2, 8 halves is 4. So 1, 2, 4, 8, and 1 half, which would be A. Answer is A. That's all you had to do for that problem. Just kidding. Number 4. Find a rational zero of the polynomial function. Use it to find all the zeros. Don't reinvent the wheel here, people. You don't have to find all the factors of 136. Just look in the problem. The only options are 1, -1, -4, and +4, and everything else is irrational. So let's just try those numbers. Let's try +1. 1x to the 4th, -9x cubed, 48x squared, minus 78x minus 136. Trying +1, drop the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add, and you can see this is not going to work. So let's try -1. 1, -9, 48, -78, and -136. Drop the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply. Ooh, this looks good. Alright, we found one that works. So -1 works. We can cross off C and we can cross off B. They don't have a -1. Well, both A and D both have a +4, so I think I might just try +4 next. So taking out a +4 from my depressed polynomial, drop the 1, multiply, add, multiply, add. That's an 82. No, it's not. That wouldn't make any sense. Where did Mr. Crawford go wrong here? Multiply, add, -6, -24. There it is. So that would be 34 times 4 is 136, 0. So your depressed polynomial, x squared minus 6x plus 34, plunge that into the quadratic equation. Unless you're a really good factor, but I don't even think that's possible. -b, plus or minus, square root, b squared minus 4ac, all over 2a. I know I'm going really fast, but maybe the sub can pause it for you at any time, and you can discuss it with your neighbors. Maybe just raise your hand and ask for them to pause. So 6 plus or minus 36 minus this whole product is 136. 36 minus 136 is -100. Square root of 100 is 10, but it's going to be negative, so 10i over 2. And that all reduces to 3 plus or minus 5i. The 2 goes into the 6 and the 5. So thus the answer would be A. Here's this work down here again if you wish to write that down. But again, you could always just pause this, so I'm not going to bother staying on this slide. Number 5. Solve the polynomial equation. Well, if you're a good factorer, you can probably get this, or you can probably take context clues from the answers. Looks like -3 and 6 are the only two numbers down here. So I'm going to think that x plus 3 and x plus 6 is how this is going to factor. Foil it out to see if we're right. That'll be x squared plus 6x plus 3x plus 6 times 3, and sure enough, that is the correct factorization. So that means -3 and -6 are on your number line. -3, -6. Now all you have to do is punch it into your function and see what you get. Let's try -7. If you plug -7 into the function, you get 49. -7 times 9 is -63 plus 18. -63 plus 67 is a positive number. Is a positive greater than 0? Why, yes it is. Let's try -4. Plug -4 into the function. You get 16 minus 36 plus 18. -36 plus 34 is negative. Is negative greater than 0? Why, no it is not. Let's try 0 for the last interval. 0 squared plus 9 times 0 plus 18. And is 18 greater than 0? Why, yes it is. There's no equal sign, so it's just parentheses for both, so it would be C. This little symbol here just means and. So don't worry about that little U, it just means included. So the answer is C. Like I said, if you need to pause and discuss that with your neighbor, that would be perfectly fine. Number 6. First thing you should do when you see these problems is solve for 0. So this is actually -x squared minus x, if you subtract the x to the other side, plus 56 is, let's see, greater than 0. I just rewrote it in a different order, but it's still the same thing. Quadratic equation, negative b plus or minus. Of course, if you could do this by factoring, then you by all means do that. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac, that's going to be a big number, all over 2a, 1 plus or minus, let's see, 4 times 56 is 224. 1 minus negative 224 is 225, all over negative 2. The square root of 225 is 15. 1 plus 15 is 16, over negative 2 will give you negative 8. 1 minus 15 is negative 14, over negative 2, which will give you 7. So negative 8 and 7 are the two numbers you need to put on your number line, which I will switch colors to do now. 7, negative 8. Let's try negative 10. If you plug negative 10 into your function, you get, well, I'll do it down here. Negative 100, let's see, plus 10 plus 56. So that's a negative 34 is greater than 0? I don't think so. Incorrect. Let's try a number between those two, like 0. That'll be 0 plus 0 plus 56. Is 56 greater than 0? Why, I think it is. And now let's try positive 10. That'll still be negative 100 minus 10 plus 56, which I believe is negative 64. Is negative 64 greater than 0? No, it is not. So we're looking for that enclosed space right here, which, these two look extremely similar, but one of them is backwards. So it has to be A, between negative 8 and 7, not negative 7 and 8. So the answer is A. Number 7, use synthetic division to show that the number given to the right of the equation is a solution, then solve. So it's giving you one of the roots is positive 4, and you have to find the other two. So 4, 3, negative 10, negative 13, and 20. Drop the 3, multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply. Mr. Crawford didn't do it right because he should have gotten a 0 remainder. Dang it. Okay, 3, negative 10, negative 13, positive 20. Drop, multiply. This should be positive, yes. But this is 8. Silly Mr. Crawford. That's 8. So it's negative 5, negative 20. Shebang. Your depressed polynomial. Quadratic function time. Negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's negative 2 plus or minus 4. Yikes, this is 20 times 3 is 60. 4 minus negative 60 is 64. Square root of 64 is 8 all over 6. Negative 2 plus 8 is 6 over 6, which is 1. Negative 2 minus 8 is negative 10 over 6, which is negative 5/3. So for positive 1, negative 5/3, that would give us C. C. Number 8. Perform the indicated. I don't want to do that problem. Let's do a different problem. How about negative 6 plus the square root of negative 9 squared. So that's actually the same as negative 6 plus 3i squared, if you chose to do it like that, which I would. Foiling that, don't you dare just square both terms. Foiling that would be negative 6 plus 3i. So that's 36 minus 18i minus 18i plus 3i squared. So that's going to be negative 36i. 36 plus 3i squared, so that's 36 plus 3 times negative 1, which is 33. So your answer is 33 minus 36i. Sorry, that one did not have a multiple choice. Number, whatever the next one is. Number 9, horizontal asymptote. Please consult your horizontal asymptote chart. All about where the highest exponent is. If it's in the top, then you should be looking at your chart and saying that there is no horizontal asymptote. What about like this one, where the highest power is in both the top and the bottom, in which case all you do is divide the leading coefficients. 3 divided by 2, nothing else matters, so the answer is B. Again, horizontal asymptote chart. Learn it, live it, love it. Number 11. Where's your highest power? By George, I think it's in the denominator. When it's in the denominator, your horizontal asymptote will always be 0. Always, always, always. Number 12. Solve the equation given that 2/3 is a root. So once again, they're giving us one. We have to find the other two. 2/3, 12, negative 65, 24, and 10. Drop the 12. Multiply, add. Oh my goodness. Multiply, add, multiply incorrectly, because that's not right. Darn it. Got in too big of a hurry. 2/3 times 8 times 12 is 8. That's correct. Negative 65 plus 8 is 57. That's correct. 1/3 of 57 is 19. Doubling that is 38, so that should be correct. So why in the George? You know what? This must have been a typo on the problem. So we are going to change this. Oh, sugar. We are going to change this 24 right now. This must have been a typo. Unless I did something wrong, in which case somebody just pointed out. To a 23. If this is 23, then that would give us a negative 15. 2/3 times negative 15 is negative 10. And now we're happy, because we get a remainder of 0. Again, Marco, if you're back there thinking I messed up somehow, please point it out. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep going. Okay, so a depressed polynomial is 12x squared minus 57x. Oh my goodness, this is going to be ginormous in the quadratic equation. Negative 57 plus or minus 57 squared. Oh my goodness. Will somebody please punch in 57 squared into your calculator? Oh wait, I'm not in there right now. 57 squared, just using my own noodle here because I'm much too proud to use a calculator. And let's see, 7 times 7 is 9, carry the 4, 2, 5. My instincts tell me it's something like 20 something something 9. But it actually is sorry, 57 squared is 3,249. Okay. You know what? We've already done a problem like this. We'll do one like this on Monday. I'm too tired for this problem. Next one. Number 13. The three numbers we need to check are given to you right here in the problem. Negative 7, positive 3, and positive 1. It's the three numbers that are going to make zeros in this function. Negative 7, positive 1, positive 3. Those are the three intervals we're checking. Oh boy. Okay, so plugging in a number less than negative 7, like negative 10. Negative 10 will give me a negative, and a negative. A negative times a negative is a positive. Positive divided by negative is a negative. A negative is greater than 0? I don't think so. That's false. Plugging in a number between negative 8 and positive 1, like 0 for instance, would give me a positive, a negative, and a negative. That would be a negative divided by a negative, which is a positive. Is a positive greater than 0? Why, yes, that's kind of the definition of a positive number. Let's try positive 2. It's in between these two. Positive 2 is going to be a positive number, negative number, positive number. Negative divided by positive is a negative. Is a negative greater than 0? No. Let's try a number greater than 3. Number greater than 3 is going to be a positive, 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 which of course will be positive and greater than 0. Now this has a equals sign, which means it needs a bracket. However, anything surrounding the positive 1 cannot have a bracket because it's in the denominator. So that would mean that our interval is going to be from negative 7 to positive 1 with a parentheses, and then 3 with a bracket to infinity, which, just looking at the actual domains they have written out here, would mean it was C. Negative 7 to 1 and 3 to infinity. Also, if there are questions and someone understands this, it would be amazing if someone would allow the teacher to pause and stand up and explain it to everybody and be like the class hero. And if you're a class hero, I promise I will give you a high five per heroism on Monday. Maybe even a hungry chicken. And if you don't know what a hungry chicken is, I'll teach you Monday. Okay, number 14. Determine whether the given quadratic function has a minimum or maximum value. Well, obviously, we need to find out the vertex. But the vertex is irrelevant until I know what the end behavior is. This is a negative quadratic, which is going to look like this, which obviously has a mountaintop with a man standing on top of it, which would mean it's a maximum. So it has to be A or C. Now to find that maximum, you need your vertex given by the equation negative b over 2a. Negative b is a positive 2. 2a, a is negative 1. Sorry about that, video glitch. Negative b will make this a positive 2. Your a value is a negative 1, so 2a will be negative 2, which means your x value is going to be a negative 1. Well, only one of these even has an x value of negative 1, so it must be a. Maximum at negative 1, comma 2. And I'm sure you can get the 2 if you just plug the negative 1 into the function. Number 15. Intermediate value theorem, blah, blah, blah. Just plug in negative 2 and negative 1 into the function, and you should be looking for a sign change. And if there is a sign change, then that means you have a 0. And if there's not, then you don't. So plugging negative 2 into the function, negative 2 to the 5th is negative 32 times 7. That's, holy mackerel. Negative 32 times 7 is, I think, negative 224. Marco, if you'll please check that, I'd appreciate it. Negative 2x cubed, that'll be negative 2 cubed is negative 8 times negative 2 is plus 16. Positive 4 times 5 is positive 20 plus 9. Negative 224 plus 16 plus 20 plus 9. I'm assuming is going to be negative 179 since it pops up in every single option. So negative 179 for f of negative 2. And for f of negative 1, when you plug it in, you're going to get negative 7 plus 2 plus 5 plus 9. That's positive 9. So is there a sign change? Yes, there is. Negative 179 and positive 9 means the answer has to be A. There is a sign change, and the numbers you did get were negative 179 and positive 9. Number 16. Oop, I accidentally cut this one off. Let's make it up. N equals 3, and your roots are 4 and 2i. And I'm going to make up the last portion at the end so that it works out properly. Okay, so the first part. That means x minus 4, x plus 2i, x minus 2i. Foiling, that's x squared plus 4, foiled with x minus 4. And you get x cubed minus 4x squared plus 4x minus 16. If I've skipped a step, this might be another moment for a hero to step up. We're solving for our a value now, which just by taking a quick gander at this problem, I'm going to give you 1, and I really hope this works out. And we're going to go with negative 30. Yep, that's what we're going to go with. So we're going to set this whole thing equal to negative 30 and plug in a 1 for every x. That's going to give you negative 1 minus 4 plus 4 minus 16. I'm going to sneak back up here. No, I'm sorry, positive 1. Positive 1 right there. So negative 4 plus 4 is going to cancel. 1 minus 16 equals negative 15. So negative 15a equals negative 30 divided by negative 15. And you should get a is 2. Plugging that back in here for a and multiplying through, that's going to give you 2x cubed minus 8x squared plus 8x minus 32. Again, if there's any questions, I will gladly let someone hero this problem, and the sub can just pause this video. Number 17, use the leading coefficient to determine the end behavior. The leading coefficient, well, if you were to FOIL all this out, which I'll let you do on your own time, that would just be x to the 5th with a positive 1 in front of it. So in behavior, odd, positive, you should look at your in behavior chart and find that odd positive is down, up, which means falls to the left, rises to the right, which would make it D. Number 18, find the vertical asymptotes of the problem that I forget to put on here. So let's call this x plus 4 and x squared minus 16. Now some of you are thinking, hey, vertical asymptotes, where the denominator equals to 0. So in this case, that'll be 4 and negative 4. But oh, wait a minute. Don't forget, if something cancels, it no longer forms a vertical asymptote. So that's actually going to be, with x plus 4's canceling, only the positive 4 will give you vertical asymptote. So only one on this problem, and it's positive 4. Number 19, we're graphing. All right, let's do this the easy way. What's the in behavior? Down, up, which immediately cuts out B and D, because they're backwards. It has to be down, up, which only these two are. Y-intercept of negative 6, which C has and B does not. So the answer is C. We didn't even have to do anything like find the zeros. That was very fortunate. And number 20 and the last one, and then you guys are more than welcome to discuss these in your groups, or just take a mental breather and we'll discuss them more on Monday. Okay, in behavior, if you were to FOIL all that out, your leading term would be negative 2x cubed, which is negative odd, which means it's going to be up, down, which means this one's out, and it has to be C or D. Let's see, next thing to look for. You should have your 3 zeros are 0 and then 2 positive 1s, which means it's going to cross at 0 and touch at positive 1. Well, this one touches at negative 1, which is incorrect. So the answer is, again, C. I'd like to apologize to the class for going so fast, but I figured you can always use the pause and rewind feature, and I know we're going to go over it more on Monday. Hold on to these tests. I will take questions over them on Monday, but I do expect you to have at least them filled in by then, and I will be going around and doing an inspection grade. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and Mr. Substitute, you may now finish Goonies, although they'll have to tell you where we are in the movie.